You know, I was real excited to do a review on this e-bike because it checks almost every box that I look for on paper, from the torque sensor to the hydraulic brakes to the Samsung battery cells, even the BAFANG motor, you know, all that premium stuff. But the question is, do all those premium components equal a premium ride? Hi, my name is Hobart from HobartsReviews.com, and today we're going to be doing a full review on this guy right here, the Kingbull Verve folding e-bike. And by the end of the video, you're going to know whether this e-bike lives up to that spec sheet or if it needs a little bit more fine-tuning. Let's get started. The Kingbull Verve is clearly aimed at riders who want a folding e-bike that feels more premium than the average budget option. It targets people looking for hydraulic brakes, name brand batteries and motors, fat tires, and a torque sensor without jumping into mid-drive pricing. Now, if you're upgrading from a basic cadence sensor e-bike and want better components, the Verve is probably already on your radar. But specs don't tell the full story. Comfort and ride feel matter just as much. Kingbull is a newer e-bike brand that focuses primarily on folding electric bikes and non-folding 26-inch wheel off-road electric bikes. Now, their goal appears to be offering name brand components and a modern design at prices that undercut the bigger, more established brands. Now, the Verve is positioned as their more premium folding model, which naturally sets higher expectations. For motor power, the Kingbull Verve uses a rear hub BAFANG motor. Now, this is a name brand motor from a really good company, and it's paired with a 20 amp hour removable lithium-ion battery, and they use genuine Samsung cells. On paper, this setup looks to be a very solid setup for a folding e-bike at this price. All right, up in the cockpit, taking a look at the grips, they're just really kind of average. They're really hard, they're not really comfortable, so they could definitely do better there. Now, right here, you're gonna have a plus and minus for your different speed modes and the power button. This is your headlight button, and that's your horn button. Now, here in the middle, we have our color display. As you can see, I've put 96 miles on this baby so far, so I really test these for you. We've got speed mode 5, your speed is in the middle, and then your battery level in the upper right-hand corner. Now, over on this side, we've got our half-twist throttle, and then, of course, our 8-speed Shimano shifter. You use this lever to go from 8 down to 1, and then there's a little lever behind here that you pull to go from 1 back up to 8. And that's a look at your cockpit. The Kingbull Verve is pretty easy to fold. First, you're gonna unlatch the handlebars and fold them down, then unlatch the frame and make sure that the kickstand is up and the pedals are out of the way, and then fold the frame in half. Now you can easily put it in the back of your SUV and take it to your favorite riding location. Now, off the line, the torque sensor works well. The acceleration is nice. The harder you push on those pedals, the more power you get. Unfortunately, if you're in speed mode 5, once you get up to speed, like I'm at 17 right now, all of the resistance has gone away. So if you're somebody looking for exercise or pedal resistance in your legs to help work your legs out, you're not going to get that here on the Kingbull Verve, unfortunately, unless you're at lower speeds and lower pedal assist modes. Now, one thing that really surprised me is battery performance, and I mean in a good way. I went on several 20-mile test rides, and I've come back with 4 or 5 battery bars left, and it only used maybe 3 or 4 volts during the entire ride, and that's way above average. The Verve comes with Tektro 4-piston hydraulic disc brakes, Kenda fat tires, and an 8-speed Shimano drivetrain. All name brand components you don't often see together on a folding e-bike at this price. The 4-piston hydraulic brakes on this e-bike is a huge selling point, and they work much better than mechanical disc brakes. They provide great stopping power when you need to, especially when you're on a heavier e-bike like this one. Now, let's talk about the tires. Now, they're marketed as puncture-proof tires, but that was not my experience at all. On my very first test ride in this neighborhood, I was riding, and after about 9 miles, I got a little paper staple in my tire, and that made me go flat. I had to push this thing home for 2 hours to get it home. So while the tires are nice, they're definitely not puncture proof. If you like the video so far, do me a favor, smash that like button so YouTube knows to show this video to more people just like you. Now, let's talk about comfort. So first things first, the seat is not very comfortable. While it feels soft, after a few miles, your butt really starts to hurt. The other reason is because on this e-bike, it's such a long e-bike that you're really stretched out. My arms are totally straight. I'm putting a lot of weight on my palms, and after a few miles, my arms and my palms would go numb, and that's no good. And I can understand, because this is a folding e-bike, the stem is straight, but because the bike is so long, it really does make you reach out instead of being, you know, maybe somewhere right around here. That'd be a nice place for the handlebars. It'd be a little bit more comfortable. The bike has front hydraulic hydraulic suspension, which does have lockout. Not sure why you'd want to use that, but it works well. Unfortunately, there's no rear suspension. Now, these 4-inch wide Kenda fat tires do a really good job in off-road situations. So if you're somebody who likes to ride on off-road trails or dirt trails or out in some sand like I am right now, you shouldn't have any issues. Unfortunately, in stuff like this, you can really feel that there's no rear suspension. Front suspension's working good, but it's still kind of bumpy because of that lack of rear suspension. But I'm able to go 13, 14 miles an hour, pedal up to 17 miles an hour in this sand, and I feel perfectly fine. I can't say that about all e-bikes. Whoa! But I'd really like to have that suspension. During test rides, I feel that acceleration is responsive and predictable, especially from a stop. Now, the fat tires help with stability and cushioning, and the bike feels well planted to the ground even at higher speeds. Handling is stable, and the folding frame feels solid. No concerning flex or wobble while riding. The Kingbull Verve is an e-bike with a lot of great ideas. It's got premium components, strong braking, even above average range. But comfort, ergonomics, and motor tuning really hold it back from feeling truly premium. Now, don't get me wrong, this is not a bad e-bike by any means. It just feels like it needs a little bit more refinement. You know, I'm a one-man band here at Hobart Reviews, both on YouTube and on my website, while still trying to hold a full-time job, be a husband and a father. And so it would be super helpful if you were to smash that like button so YouTube will show this video to more people. Also, if you want to be notified next time I put out a video, hit that subscribe and the bell. If you have any questions about the e-bike, I'd be happy to answer them. I'm also going to leave a link down below for the e-bike and the upgraded controller so that you can use your throttle to get to 28 miles an hour. Well, for the Kingbull Verve folding e-bike and HobartReviews.com, my name is Hobart. Thanks for joining me today, and we'll see you on the next ride.